everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, we are talking about build your community, not your viewers. So I have been speaking with lots of streamers lately, and I get the same questions over and over again. How do I get more viewers? How do I get more followers? How do I promote myself? Like that's the extent of the questions I'm getting. Like, how do I get more viewers? How do I get more followers? How do I promote myself? And the truth is, that's kind of like not the most important thing that I see wrong with some of these streamers. Like, I'm not a stream coach. I'm a business coach. And I have helped build a lot of different businesses. I've helped guide a lot of different businesses. I've consulted with people. I've done marketing training. I've helped do business plans and marketing plans. And when it comes to getting more viewers, more followers, and promotion, like that's kind of at the end of the line. You really need to be focusing on what your content is even about. What is your micro focused, super tiny, super focused mission statement? How narrow can you focus your brand? Because if you are just there to play video games, people aren't going to watch you. You have to have something that you're representing, something you're promoting, something you're putting out there in order to help people, in order to entertaining people is not quite enough because there are plenty of other entertainers out there. Or how are you entertaining them? What is the specific way that you're doing it? And well, I'm funny. That's not specific enough. Okay. Really get clear. Like, what kinds of topics do you talk about? Super clear. Once you're clear on that, you can then get clear on who it is you want to watch you. Okay. Actually decide in advance who you want to watch you. Don't just go and go, well, people show up and then, I start chatting with them. That's not a great way to build a following, a true following. If you want viewers, you need a community. And a community comes from people that are essentially hand selected in advance to be part of that community. And because, if you're talking the same language they are, if you're giving them the kind of content that they want, and if you're engaging them at an intellectual level that they want to be engaged in because you've chosen that level to be at with them, they're more likely to enjoy your company, enjoy being with you, enjoy the brand, enjoy the mission. And then they'll eventually want to help support you in that mission and that brand, because they're not getting that level of care and comfort anywhere else. And as people start to decide that they're not getting what they get from you anywhere else, they start to attach themselves to you. They start wanting to represent you because they think you are good. You are up on a pedestal in their eyes because you are leading the mission. Everybody likes to say they want more followers, but they don't quite understand what followers means. What is a follower? A follower is someone who follows a leader. You are supposed to be a leader as the streamer, as the influencer, as the content creator. You need to be that person that people can follow and become like. They want to be like Mike in a way, right? Hopefully you all aren't too young to get that one. Anyway, so you want to go out there and you want to build this community. And that community requires you to have a box. And that box is where you're going to put people. But you need to have the box first. And that box is the mission that you're on. What is it you represent? You then take the kinds of people you want, you put them into that box. And once they're in the box, you better be giving them content and activities and things to do related to what's in the box. Think of it like going to a bar, right? If you're a punk rocker and you go to a Western country bar, are you going to be like cool with that? Probably not, right? It's not, there's a disconnect. People who are into country go to country bars. People who are into punk go to punk bars, and rock bars have rockers at them, right? So your community has to have people who fit the definition of what's supposed to be in that box. And they have things going on in that box that they want to do. So the kinds of content, what activities, what can you engage them with in that box? Now, that is how you get more viewers. And it's a long, windy path to get there, I know. It's not as simple. It's not you just push a button and viewers start showing up, or you just play this game and people start popping up. Like, yeah, you might be able to get more viewers by playing a specific game, but it's not going to be the thing that's going to get you the long-term, consistent community that you want in order to create the brand that you want to be able to sell product to people that they can then rep your brand and your stream and let other people know about it. And that's how you really grow. All right. So many people get stuck on the audience building aspect of it. And that's, I have a 9-step program that I show streamers how to go from nothing to an income producing brand. And the actually getting viewers part, step 5. The stuff that comes before it, that's the foundation. You wouldn't build a skyscraper without a solid foundation, would you? No. You need to know your micro-focused mission statement. You need to know who your audience is. You need to know what platforms you need to be on in order to be where those audience members are. You need to know what you should be playing. You need to know what kind of content you should be making. It's not enough to just be playing the game. What are you talking about while you're playing the game? Have you ever put much consideration into what to say? Like I talk to streamers when I do my show, right? And they say, I have a list of stories that I tell. That's a great suggestion right there. Have a list of stories. What kind of stories, though? They should be focused on, well, you should talk about what the chat's talking about. That's a good one to start with. But the game that you're playing, you have stuff to talk about the game and your mission and yourself. There shouldn't be a lot of dead air. You should be able to constantly be discussing something, telling stories constantly, because that's how people get engaged. It's not just watching you. They may show up, maybe, the first time because they want to see the game that you're playing, but they're going to stay because of the streamer. Like, that's one of those questions I post on my page all the time is, why do you watch streamers? And it's because of the streamer. It's not because of the game. It's the streamer. They want to watch you. But if you're boring, if you're not interesting, if you're not engaging, if it's just not worth watching, they're not going to stay. So understand that is how you get more viewers. That it's not about the viewers. It's about the community. All right. So I'm going to remind you all, organization is the enemy of sloth. Really, really laser focus in on this strategy here. How do you go from A to Z? Well, you have to start at A. Stop trying to jump over to M because you just want more viewers right now. It's not going to work. Really lay out the strategy. What's your micro focus mission statement? Who is your audience avatar? Where can they be found? What kinds of content do they consume? And how can you create that? And then you can start worrying about how to actually present that content in front of people. It's not until then, though. Really lay this strategy out, and I'm fairly certain you could grow. This is how I grew. I went from zero. I went from nothing on the Gamerpreneur to over 100,000 people in less than a year by implementing this, the Gamerpreneur. If you've been on my show, if you watch this episode, right, you'll know that I tell every person who is interested in coming on my show that the stated mission of the show is to dispel the myth of the lazy, unmotivated basement dweller. And I go through my backstory. I tell a really good story that's related to that mission. And I know who my audience is. They're gamers who are interested in turning their gaming passion of some type into a business, right? And I marry all those things together, and then I put out the content and I promote the heck out of it, and I get people to watch it, and then I get followers from that and viewers and people who are interested in doing this themselves. And then I get calls, and then I get sales. Like, that's how I've built the Gamerpreneur, is by making sales from people who are interested in growing, and they see me as the leader who can help guide them there. That's the process. Okay. So hopefully you can pull that one off yourself. Don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.